Okay, so let us start with the next subtopic, that is on line integration. Okay. Integration of vectors. Okay, so let us just recall some basic definitions which we had done in 2V. Okay. If C is a path in Rn, its tangent or velocity vector, yeah. So its tangent or velocity vector is nothing but C prime of t. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Same way, if C represents the path of a moving particle, moving particle its velocity vector is v. Okay, small v, huh? Okay, and speed is see when we talk of velocity, velocity is a vector. Okay, speed becomes a scalar. So speed is nothing but norm of this thing. Okay, that is actually going to be equal to norm of C prime of t, and this we denoted by the alphabet S. Okay. Okay. Afternoon झाली. Okay, so got this. Let us move ahead. The acceleration of a path CT, path CT is acceleration this will be a vector, huh? Okay, this will turn out to be a vector. Okay, I don't think so I'll be using this, but since we already know this thing, let me just write it. If F is the force a particle of mass m, then okay. So this is, I think so we had just done this in brief last semester. Okay. Okay, force is mass into acceleration. Again, force will be a vector over here. Mass is going to be a scalar, acceleration is a vector, right? So this is ordinary, just a scalar multiplied into a vector. Okay? Finished? So let us go to the next subtopic, which I had again discussed in 2V, but let me just redo it little here. Arc length So now the question arises here, what is the length of the path CT between the points T0 and T1. Okay, what is the length of the path CT between the points T0 and T1? Now what do you know over here? We know some formulas involved over here. We know that speed is equal to distance upon time. Okay, so now for any point which lies in between T0 and T1, what will be the speed? It will be C prime of T. Distance is something what we are trying to find out, that's the length of the curve, right? And this time is going to be actually be the time which it has traveled, T. This is unfortunately all physics only now. Yeah. After some days you'll say our country is no longer a democracy. What? No, anyways, autonomy, since this video is not going to be watched by anyone outside you all, our college is hardly remaining autonomous anymore. So, little by little that autonomy has gone away. I won't be surprised after a few years we go back to the Goa University system only. Kind of the same thing happening in our country also. So, kind of same it is. Yeah. Okay. Now this is with respect to one particular point, that this becomes, the distance becomes C prime into T, right? Okay. Now if I want to do this for the entire period, what will this actually become? The total length will become nothing but the summation of all these values, right? C prime of T into T. Okay. that summation after you doing the Riemann sum business and all, that will eventually turn out to be equal to T1 C prime of T. By the way, sorry, this should be norma. Okay. I didn't do that Riemann sum steps. I think so. We had done this in 2V. I can't remember. But anyways, let it be. So this is actually called as the arc length of C oh yes, yes. I scrubbed it off because I was writing that norm sign. Okay, length of between T0 to T1. Okay. Let's work out an example before proceeding further. Okay, before going further, definition. The length of the path CT given by the individual coordinates xt, yt, zt. This can be extended to n variables, okay, for t lying between T0 and T1 is okay into let me do this step. What is the length? This is going to be norm of C prime of t dt, right? That's what I've defined. But what is norm of what is C prime of t in the first place? What is C prime going to be? X prime, y prime, z prime, right? Right now, C prime will be equal to x prime, y prime, z prime, derivative of each of the components. Okay, clear? C prime is going to be, wait, and don't write this, I have to add some more terms. What t? I can't tell you what is saying. Wait, t. Here you are saying for this integral, no, that t eventually becomes dt, man. That is actually infinitesimal t. Actually, no, I should have used this notation here. This is the delta t, a small change in t it is, so that sum of all the change in t Rian just made some change here. That T alphabet is little confusing, so I changed it to delta T. So this delta T eventually becomes dt. Okay. Okay, once you take the summation, delta T becomes this dt on the Riemann something. Okay. Yeah, so the length of this path will be this thing. So it's going to be C prime is going to be given as x prime, y prime, z prime. Then what is going to be norm of C prime? Square root of the sum of the squares of individual terms, right? Okay, that's how we take the norm in R3. Okay. So this is going to be norm of x prime t the whole square, y prime t the whole square, and z prime t the whole square. Dt. Okay, hence we have the formula arc length is equal to integral of t naught to t1 so this is the formula, put it in a box. Okay. Clear? In case of a curve C in Rn, okay, how will you define the length? Same way, t naught to t1 integral of root over, I'll use the summation notation, I is equal to 1 to n x I prime of t the whole square. Okay, this is in case of n-dimensional curves. Okay, let us see some examples on this before proceeding further. Example, compute the arc length of the curve CT 2 sin t comma 2 for just a moment. Wait. Wrote. Okay, so what should this be? Solution is first to try finding out what is c prime of t. So derivative of a vector is the vector of the individual terms. Okay, that's going to become minus 2 sin t plus 2 cos t comma 0. Okay. Okay. So what is going to be norm of Ct? Norm of Ct will be what? It's going to become root over minus 2 sin t four times common will come sin square t so root 4, this is going to become equal to 2. Okay. So a norm of c prime of t, a norm right down. Thus length is equal to integral of 0 to 2 pi this is equal to 2 dt. This will become equal to 2 into 2 pi minus 0, that's equal to 4 pi. Correct? By the way, what does this curve represent which we have drawn? What does Ct represent? What does it represent geometrically? X coordinate is 2 cos t, y coordinate is 2 sin t, and this one is just a constant 2. So this constant 2 basically means that whatever curve you are drawing, it's on the constant z is equal to 2 plane. Okay, it's a planar curve, it lies inside one plane only. Okay, so that we don't have to worry about, we have to worry only what the x and y terms are contributing. X and y terms are contributing 2 cos t and 2 sin t. What does this represent? Circle, right? So this is a circle of radius 2. Okay, so here we have a circle of radius 2 which is drawn in the 3-dimensional space at a height of 2, right? So what is the length of a curve, length of a circle anyways? So the situation is somewhat like this. At the height 2 we have drawn a circle here. Okay, length of a circle anyways is 2 pi r, right? That's the parameter of a circle. R in this case is 2. Okay, so 2 pi r is actually equal to 4 pi. So we got the correct answer. We could manage to verify that information this time. Okay, so now let us work with something which is not so easy. Finish writing. One. Okay, so this is one interesting example you are given in the book. A billiard ball on a square table follows the path uh, defined as C from -1 to +1, okay, to R3, Ct is equal to x of t, y of t, find the distance traveled by the ball. So this is basically that pool table game, right, where they shoot the ball with a stick, right? So the ball has been shot and it is traveling in this weird path, okay? We'll draw this path anyways. And the z coordinate over here is 0. That means the ball is moving on the surface only and it's not flying along. Okay? So this path diagram they have given, and directly take it instead of spending time in drawing it. Huh? Okay? Okay, let us learn how to draw this path. This will be useful for all anyways. So we have this function here, mod of t minus half and 0. Okay? What do you know about mod t? Hmm? For t belonging to -1 to +1, what do you know about mod t? Is it differentiable? We have to take a derivative here, right? To find c prime of t, we'll have to take a derivative. But is this function differentiable? Weight is not differentiable, right? So this is not differentiable at t is equal to 0. Okay? Other places this function is differentiable. Okay? At other points this function is differentiable. What about the next one now? Is this function differentiable? Weight is not differentiable. Huh? At half, right? At t is equal to half, this will not be differentiable. Okay? So now we'll have to split this. There are 2 points where the function is not differentiable. Okay, so thus Ct is okay, so Ct has 2 places where the function is not differentiable. Okay, individual functions are not differentiable at 2 different points, so the combined function vector over Ct will be not differentiable at 2 places. Okay, so what we'll have to do? Thus split okay, 3 intervals we made over here. Clear? So we want to can call it as I1, I2, I3. So on I1, what will this be? On I1, okay, for this numbers will be negative over here on the other side, the graph. Since t is negative, modulus of t becomes minus t, right? That's what I've done. Okay, and here also t minus half will be a negative number if t is less than this thing, 0, right? So I've written minus of that quantity. So that simplifies to this. Okay, yeah, what is c prime of t? This will become -1, -1, 0. Norm of Ct will become root over Okay, root 2. Similarly, so this integral 0 to 1 of norm of c prime of t, sorry, I'm minus 1 to 0. Minus minus will make it plus, so what will remain here is only root 2. After integration only root 2 will remain there. Okay. Now what will happen on I2? Ct will become okay. What will Ct become now? Modulus of t is greater than 0, so this will become plus t. T minus half will still be negative because t is less than half, no? So t minus half will be negative, right? So this will become minus t minus half. Okay, and this is 0. So c prime of t over here will become 1. This will become minus 1, 0. And norm of c prime norm of c prime of t okay. Thus this integral from 0 to half dt it will be integral of root 2 times t, that t will become half minus 0 after substitution. So it's going to become root t by 2 as the final answer. Okay. Next on I3, On I3, what do we have here is CT becomes, now we are talking of half to 1. Okay, so T is greater than half now, so that's greater than 0, greater than half also, so it will be T minus half and 0. So C prime of T will become 1, 1, 0. Norm of C prime of T, this will be equal to root 2 because we have done it too many times now. Okay, so an integral half to 1 norm of C prime of T so this will become integral half to 1 root 2 times dt, so it will become root okay. So we calculated the total thing, so thus integral from minus 1 to 1 modulus of C prime of T dt, this is going to become equal to minus 1 to 0 plus 0 to half plus half to 1. Okay, I split this integral into 3 parts as we have done above. This will become calculated as root 2 plus root 2 by 2. So total is 2 root 2. Okay. Clear? Yeah, now for the diagram now which I didn't draw. How will this picture look like? Finish writing. Yeah. So see, if this is your x and y variable, z variable is going to get not required because we have z is equal to 0 in this problem. Okay. Okay. Notice something here. When t is equal to minus 1, what is going to be the value of the curve? When t is equal to minus 1, the value of the curve becomes 1 comma 3 by 2, right? Yeah, no? It is mod t So t is equal to minus 1, this will become plus 1, this will become minus 1 minus half, 3 by 2, no? Minus 3 by 2 modulus will make it plus 3 by 2. So that first point is here. Right? First coordinate is here. Now where is the second coordinate at the change point? At t is equal to 0. When t is equal to 0, what does this become? 0 comma half. Okay? 0 comma half is over here. Right? When t is equal to 1, what will happen? We get 1 comma half comma 0. Where is 1 comma half? Here it is. I missed a point in between, no? At t is equal to 0 we calculated here. Okay, so this is c of minus 1. This is c of 0 over here. C of plus 1 we calculated here. C of half we left out. C of half is a point on that interval, no? So we have calculated. What will become for C of half? It will become half minus half will be 0, right? And this will be 0. So that is half comma 0, that is here. Okay, so this is C of half. Clear everyone how I mark the 4 points? Okay. Now the curve represents a straight line because it's a first degree equation. Huh? So I'll draw this. So this is the motion of this thing. It moves in this direction, then in this direction, then in this direction. Right? So what is happening? Somebody is shooting the ball from here, it goes and hits the border of the wall here, then it bounces back from there, comes here and comes this side. Okay, nice example, no? Okay, another thing to be noticed here is at the points which I have marked in blue, mark them in something else. At these points which I am marking in blue, these are the turning points of these are the initial point and the end point anyways. Right? These 2 points are sharp edges. Notice that one is like this and second one is like this. A function is not going to be differentiable at these points. Right? So that's the reason why we split this thing into separate intervals. Okay? So this is along I1 comes from here till here, I2 goes from here till here and I3 goes from here till here. Okay, so this line is differentiable, this line is differentiable and this line is also differentiable. Individual pieces are differentiable, but that full thing is not differentiable because at this turning points there is going to be a problem of the derivative. C prime derivative is not going to be defined. Okay, clear? So that's about this. Let us go ahead. What else we remain? So the next thing is arc length of a arc length of a differential. Arc length differential. At length of an infinitesimal displacement uh, infinitesimal means small. Okay. Yeah, yeah, small thing. Small change in this thing. This is what we used to call dx. Yeah, I'll draw this anyways. Let me just write down. Okay, of a particle following a path following a path ct zk is dzk is, yeah. So what do you mean by infinitesimal? Let me just wait on, there's something more to be written here. Let me draw the diagram first. I have to write more things, huh? So I want to measure the change of this particle's movement from here till here. Okay. Assume this is a small tiny thing, even though I'm drawing such a big picture. So this is going to be my ds. Okay. I want to measure this length of this ds segment now. Huh? It's gone sideways. Fast. Okay. So I want to measure this length of this, right? ds. Length of the curve over here. So how do I measure this thing? First I'll have to drop this perpendiculars as such, but instead of doing that, see from here to here, this is the change in x. Agreed? And this is x. Huh? Clear? Then from here to here will be the change in y. This is a little tricky to imagine. Assume the curve was bent. It was a three-dimensional curve. It was bent in the y direction also. So I'm measuring the change in the y direction like this. Okay. It can be negative y also in the other side. Okay. Then I'll measure the change in the z direction, that will be dz. Okay, change in the x direction, change in the y direction, and change in the z direction. Okay, so I kind of have a triangle, not triangle you can say. And so I have three perpendicular lines right now here, that much I can see. Understood this diagram? Okay, change in x, change in y, and change in z. Okay, so what should be the this thing? Length ds in from three-dimensional geometry, you know this ds distance has to be nothing but the length in the x coordinate plus length in the y coordinate and then next okay, understood now? The length over here, the distance ds is nothing but the sum of the individual changes in x, y and z. Okay, in other words, you can think of this as x1 minus x2, y1 minus y2 and z1 minus z2. Okay, so the length from the point A to point will be, point A to point B will be square, sum of the squares x1 minus x2 the whole square, y1 minus y2 the whole square and z1 minus z2 the whole square. Okay, so that will give me the thing ds over there. Okay, yeah, so this is the length over here ds. Clear? Finish writing. So let me go back to this main thing what I was writing. Yeah, this is ds. This ds can also be written as okay, so I multiply and divide with this thing, what do you call that, a dt. So now this gives you your x prime, y prime, z prime. Okay, yeah, so this is the infinitesimal displacement. So the measurement of a very small displacement on the curve is measured like this. Okay, small change in the movement along the this thing. Okay, and its length is one thing, this is a vector, right? So I'll have to write it like this. Actually, the book has used bold notation, so I don't have bold font here. Just write this as a vector, and its length is this is a scalar. Length is going to be a scalar value. So this is going to be okay. In In other words, this can also be written as this is also called as the differential of arc length. Differential of arc length. Okay, so this is done. Okay, so with this we have finished this arc length business.